All right, here we go. Okay. What's today? Today's July what?
11th, isn't it?
Or 12th. Is it the
I
12th?
think it's 11th.
July 11th.
11th, because it's Jack and Mary's anniversary.
Oh, that's right. So today's Monday, July 11th. So tomorrow you're going in for surgery
Yes,
to get the tumor removed.
yes.
So,
and just received out of town backup help.
yeah, Uncle Paul's here. He brought up one latex glove and a scalpel that he found, which may come in handy. All right. A few things. Where were you born?
I was born in St. Francis Hospital, Wilmington, Delaware,
What year was that?
1934.
Okay. You'll have to take this
Okay, that's my friend. I'll call it back.
Okay. You turn the ringer off or no?
I don't know how to do that without hanging up on her.
Just hit the end button. There you go. Are there any stories about the day you were born or your early infancy?
No,
You don't remember anything that my mom told you about her labor or
no.
anything you remember? Is
Nothing
there or
different.
nothing?
Nothing different, no.
Do you know why you were given your name?
Yeah, I was named after my Aunt Ann Gertrude Malloy.
Okay.
So that's who I'm named after.
Where did you grow up?
Wilmington, Delaware,
Well, what was your address?
1315 Cedar Street.
What was it like there?
It was good.
Why did your parents live in this area?
I don't know. They originally were at St. Paul's, and then they bought the house in St. Elizabeth's, and that's where they raised all their kids.
But were they both born in Wilmington?
Yes,
So your grandparents are from Wilmington as well.
yes.
What was your house like growing up? Did you share a bedroom?
Oh yeah, always. There were 7 of us in 3 bedrooms. We had 4 girls and 3 boys.
What were the-
Always shared a bed and bedroom.
So what order was that? What
Well, Joey, Jimmy, me, Judy, Marion, Michael, Margaret, Mary.
and how many bedrooms?
3. And my parents. They
Right.
had 1. The rest of us had 2.
So there were how many in each? There were the girls were all in one and the boys were in the other one.
Yeah. That's how it was till they start moving out, one by one.
What was your life like when you were growing up?
I didn't have the happiest childhood. My father was an alcoholic. He was never home. I had a very good mother. So I basically didn't have a father. He never abused us physically or otherwise. He would get drunk, he'd come home, and he'd pass out. That was it.
Where did he come home from? Where did he work?
He was a house painter, but he'd stop off at clubs, and sometimes he'd be missing more than one day. I mean, he'd be missing a couple of days or something.
Do you know where he was?
I didn't.
How did your mom deal with that?
She was so strong, Kevin. She took such good care of us. And she was just amazing. I don't know how she did it by herself. She used to borrow money at meat market on Maryland Avenue. The guy loaned people money, and I remember walking down there, and then she would write everything down. She bought them because she never worked. She had all of us kids, and my mother had it really, really hard.
Well, do you know what you were like as a child?
Me?
Yeah.
I was a good child. I was a good student. I was a good daughter. I was a good sister and friend.
Did you guys go on any vacations when you were growing up?
Once to Betterton, my Aunt Mill rented a place and she let us go down there for the week. And that was the only time we all went away together.
Where was this?
Betterton, Maryland. It was a dump then, but it's nice now. Dad took me through there, and it's really nice now. But it was kind of dumpy. There was a cute little cottage. The water was there, and we had a wonderful time.
Was it like on a lake or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember how far? I mean, I don't even know if I've ever heard of Betterton.
Betterton, Maryland. I forget what body of water that would have been on.
But it was a lake.
I don't know.
You don't remember? I'll have to look that up. I don't even know if I've ever heard of it.
Yeah.
So that was the only vacation you can remember growing up. How old were you? Do you remember?
I was probably maybe just coming into my teenage years.
Okay.
Because I was helping with the little kids. I remember there's pictures of me holding the little ones.
Like holding, who were you holding?
Well, probably Margaret Marion or Michael.
That's fine. What were your parents like? I mean, I know you said that your dad was a drunk. I mean, is that the only thing you remember about him? I mean, did you guys ever talk?
My sister Judy hated him. I pitied him. I didn't hate him. I just felt sorry for him.
Did he have a relationship with any of the kids? I mean, did he, was he close to any one of you?
No,
or?
he was mean. He was mean to the boys. He was never mean to me. He smacked me once across the face because he thought I talked back to him. And I turned around and I said, "You can hit me again, but I did not talk back to you." That's the only time I ever remember him hitting me.
What about your siblings? Who were you closest with growing up?
Judy and Jimmy.
When you were younger, that's who you were closest.
Yeah.
What was the age difference between you and Judy and Jimmy?
Me and Judy, there's 5 years. Jimmy and I probably close to that.
Why do you think you guys were the closest?
Excuse me?
Why do you think you were the closest?
Because we were the closest in age.
Okay.
And I used to come home from the dances and tell Judy all.
Nicest guy.
He was. He
Funny
was
too.
kind of miserable when he got older.
A little bit, but not a
He was a
mean.
grouchy.
Yeah, he was grouchy, but I wouldn't say he was mean.
No, it was a mean.
No, just a little grumpy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I was surprised when I saw the flag. It's been 20 years
What?
since he died.
Yeah.
20 years this year.
I
1996.
didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah, I didn't either till I just saw that flag. Were you close to your grandparents?
We used to go up and see my father's mother, and she lived up in St. Paul's Parish on South Harrison Street. We used to walk up there every Sunday, like Judy and I, or me and my father. But my grandfather was an alcoholic, and my grandmother kicked him out, and he ended up living in Little Sisters. So my father used to take me over to see him to visit too.
The same little sister in the same place?
Yeah, but it was in Wilmington then.
Okay, not the same property.
No.
Okay.
But my grandmother was nice, and she had these 2 daughters that were wonderful to her. Aunt Ann, who I was named after an Aunt Mill. So we would go up there and visit with them on a Sunday, and then Aunt Mill would kick us out. She'd say, "I'm ready for a nap. You kids out of here." She was kind of rough and tough, but and Aunt Ann was real sweet. She's Father Pat's mother.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Do you remember having family holidays?
Just us. Always had a nice Christmas, nice Thanksgiving. My mother, cooked the whole nice meals. That was it. Never any company, never any liquor in the house.
Well, your mom never drank.
No.
Well,
And she couldn't have it because of him. She couldn't have it in the house.
Right.
And my mother had 3 half sisters. See, her father died when she was a baby. So her mother remarried, and then she had 3 wonderful half sisters. Loved them, and they stayed close to us.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Would they come over during holidays, or do you guys visit with them?
Not the holidays, but probably the holidays. I come and do a Christmas visit and all, because they had husbands and they had cars, and my mother didn't drive. So we just loved them. And you know what? They all lived down in Minquadale. Nicest people. Nice.
That's great.
Their kids were nice.
We haven't kept in contact with any of
No.
them though.
Mm-mm. They're dead now.
But like even their kids or.
The one daughter, she came to Dad's wake. I thought that was so nice of her, Aunt Vicky's daughter. That's about it.
Oh, no kidding. That is nice. Where'd you go to school as a child?
St. Elizabeth's. I went to kindergarten at St. Anthony's.
Oh, that's funny.
I think my mother wanted me to get out with other kids or something. I was really bashful. So I went to kindergarten at St. Anthony's, and then I went to St. Elizabeth's 12 years,
Okay.
all through grade school, all through high school.
Was it a big school when you were there?
I guess it was pretty big. Yeah, I guess it was pretty big, wasn't it? St. Elizabeth's.
What was your favorite subject?
I had one. I liked English. Really liked English.
Do you remember what you wanted to be when you grew up?
Mm-mm. No idea.
Have 8 kids? Get married and have 8 kids?
I told your father that my life started when I met and married him. That's when I became happy. That's when I always felt like that's when my life started. Before that, it was
Not great.
not good.
I mean, even all the way up to your wedding.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you remember what the world was like when you were growing up?
World War II. I remember we had parades, go to the movies and see the news. Both of my, Jimmy was in Korea. Michael was in Vietnam. So,
That must have been hard when they were there.
it was.
It was scary.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear from them?
Oh yeah, we wrote all the time. Oh yeah.
So they were able to write back and forth.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you guys ever save any of those letters?
Probably not.
That'd have been neat if you.
Margaret Mary would be the one. If there's any letters laying around, she would keep them.
It'd be interesting to read now, just to what their
Yeah, I
experiences
think
were.
she's got letters.
So what was everyday life like? I mean, did you guys have a television growing up?
No, not till we got a little bit older. But we played. We had so many friends. You can come from school and run out the door. We were out until dinner time. And you came in, you had your dinner, you did your homework, you got your bath, and you went to bed.
So you guys were outside all the time?
All the time.
Yeah.
That's why we were all so skinny. We all.
Right.
I ate good, but we were running all the time.
Right.
All summer we were up at Canby Pool.
Right.
It was wonderful.
Was that a community pool? You just went up? Or did you have to go
Yeah.
on?
They in the morning it was free, so that's when you could go. In the afternoon you had to pay, I think, a quarter. So we couldn't afford that, so we couldn't go in the afternoon.
So you went up.
But we all took swimming lessons. We all learned how to swim up there.
So would my mom take you guys up there, or would you just walk?
Up. It was up the street.
Right.
I just need to know because I have one call into a doctor.
It doesn't say.
Hard to see. Let me answer that. Hello. Hi, Julie. Good. Yeah, I'm going tomorrow. Yes. All right. Yeah, 6 a.m. Surgery is 8. Okay. Well, I'm having surgery. No, he said he said I'm going to be in for a week. Yeah. Yes. Okay, Julie. Thank you. Bye.
That was when you were. I mean, was that pretty much your summers every year for as long as you can remember?
Year, as long as you were old enough to go up there.
Do you remember where you were when Kennedy was assassinated?
No, I don't.
It's funny, people say they remember that kind of stuff.
Most people do.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was so busy, Kevin, with you kids. I was busy. What was that, like 63? That's the year Joe was born.
62? Or is it 63?
November 22nd, 1963.
Yeah. That was the year Joe was born?
Yeah. So I was busy, and Mary was a baby. They were a year apart. I didn't have time.
When you When you grew up, what did you do for work? What was your first job?
My first job, I graduated from DuPont in 1952.
You graduated and then started working at DuPont.
I graduated from St. Elizabeth in 1952. The very next day, I started DuPont Wilmington shops. I could walk to work. I did secretarial work. I had a good job.
That's the things they're knocking down right now, right?
Yeah.
Right by the riverfront.
I walked to work and walked home.
Yeah, I mean that was only a few blocks from where you lived.
Yeah,
It wasn't very.
it was
It's right
easy.
down the hill.
It was easy.
It was probably harder walking home because you had to walk up that hill.
It was a good job. I liked it.
What did you do there?
I was a secretary. They hired me as a receptionist, and then they kept moving me to different departments, and I ended up being the secretary of the superintendent of the whole Wilmington shops
Oh, that's funny.
by the time I left. Yeah.
So what did you? I mean, you answered calls, set up appointments.
Took shorthand, typing, made appointments, answered the phone.
The typing came in handy.
Yeah, filed.
Used to type all my papers.
Yeah, that was my job.
I would always
And
turn.
I
them
liked
in.
it.
I would always turn them in like I need this by tomorrow, and you banged them out. Sorry. How did you and Dad meet?
Dad and I went through grade school together, and then he went on to Sally's, and I went to St. Elizabeth's. So my parents bought a little grocery store at the corner of Cedar and Broome, and that's where all the boys hung out. And your father started coming there and hanging out. And I knew he wanted to ask me out, and he didn't. So I was invited to a wedding, and I asked him if he would go with me.
Whose wedding was it? Do you remember?
Yeah, Dorothy Cousino. She was a neighbor, and I asked her if I could bring somebody, and she said yes.
How old were you?
21.
Wow. So you guys went to the wedding. Did you have a good time?
We had a wonderful time. We never stopped eating.
After that, you never
Your
stopped.
father fell madly in love with me, and to this day, I don't know why. I didn't know why.
Because he was smart.
Yeah.
There were prettier girls and smarter girls, but that was it. And we just talked every day. We had a great relationship. We really did.
You always did.
We were in love, yeah.
When did what did you guys? What was your early dating life like? I mean, did you go hang out?
I dated a lot.
No, I mean, oh yeah. Go ahead.
I went to proms. I went to Sally's prom, Archmere prom, dated guys. I knew I didn't want to be with any of them. But with your father, it was different. It was like, we really wanted to be together.
Right. What about you and Dad's dating? What did you guys do?
We did fun things. We both loved the movies. We both loved putt-putt.
Was there a putt-putt place around there?
Yeah, there's a few. Don't even ask me where. But we used to like to do miniature golf.
So you guys would go to a movie or go putt-putt?
Yeah. I can't think of anything else.
Like how early did you meet his parents? Did you meet his parents pretty quickly?
No, it was quite a while before I met them. But then he started inviting. Grandpa cooked the most wonderful Sunday dinners, and Dad started inviting me up there for dinner, and I got to know all of them.
You used to walk up there, I guess.
I guess, did he have a car? Well, I was the one who had the car. I had bought a Chevy from a guy at DuPont. So I was the one who had the car, so that's what we went out in.
You drive him around?
Well, no, he drove. I would
Right.
let Dad drive. But it was my car.
How long before he proposed to you?
6 months.
Wow. From when you first started dating? And then how long after that did you marry?
Well, then he knew he was going to be drafted, so he said, I'm going to volunteer for the draft, and I'm going to get this over with, and then I'm going to come home and we're going to get married. And that's what we did. I wasn't engaged. He didn't give me a diamond at that time, but we knew we were going to get married, and we were faithful to each other.
So he, how long after you started seeing each other did he go into the Navy?
Well, 6 months after he proposed to me, and then And then he went in the Navy.
Was it like within a year he was in the Navy?
He was supposed to be 2 years, but they didn't keep him that long.
No, I mean, how long did it take until he went in? Do you remember?
Pretty quickly, it seemed. I think he just went down and volunteered, and they took him.
Anyway,
And he thought he was going in the Army, and they split him up. And they wanted half in the Army and half in the Navy. And he either hurt him or something. He went on the Navy side.
That was smart.
And he loved it.
Well, he was stationed in the Keys the whole time.
He loved it. He made nice friends there. He said he grew up there. Because he was never away from home.
Right.
And he met a lot of really nice guys. So.
It probably started his love for travel too. When you grow up and you're live in a 2-block or 3-block or 4-block radius, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, I can do this because you guys travel quite a bit. What did you admire most about that?
He was so kind. The first thing people would say to me was how handsome, and I said, but he's so nice. He respected me.
Do you remember when you first got pregnant? Your first pregnancy?
Yeah. I was married 10 months. I thought something was wrong with me because I didn't get pregnant right away. Because all my friends got married before me, and they were all having their babies. But I was married, I think it was 10 months when I got pregnant with Aunt Marie. I was thrilled. I had good pregnancies, felt good, had healthy babies.
Never any problems with any of them?
Well, I did. I had Aunt Marie, then I had Jack. Now, they were only 10 months apart. And then...
10 months apart.
My father-in-law said, what'd you do, attack her in the hospital? And I guess my body wasn't ready, so I had 2 miscarriages after Jack. And then I had Mary and Joe and you and Eileen. No trouble.
No troubles with the pregnancies. Maybe a couple of the kids, but no. Not with the pregnancies.
No. Always excited too. Always happy when I was pregnant. Yeah.
How did you choose our names?
Well, Anne-Marie was after me. Dad wanted to call her Anne. I said, well, how about Anne-Marie? Jack after him. I wanted to call him John, but Dad said that was too formal because John and Jack. So we kept Jack. Mary I named after the Blessed Mother because I had lost 2 babies, and I was just so happy that I had a healthy baby. Joseph after my father, Joseph Aloysius. Kevin, I just love that Irish name. So you're Kevin Michael after my brother Michael.
Right. Well, I picked the middle name.
Yeah.
For
and Eileen, just because it was a pretty Irish name.
Right. You started picking names once you got past the
family.
Joe.
That's the way they did it then.
Yeah, right. Tell me about how Diane and Karen came into our lives.
All right. Diane's mother got cancer like in January and died in May. So there were 5 girls.
Do you remember what year that was?
I do. What year was Erin born? 60. It was 1960, because that's the year Karen was born, in January, and that's when she died.
This is your sister-in-law, right? Your sister-in-law.
My brother Joey's wife.
Right.
So Judy quit her job and went over. She was an X-ray technician. She quit her job and went over and stayed with Joey and helped raise the children. But he was very irresponsible. He was drinking a lot, although I don't think Joey was an alcoholic. His whole life he was self-centered. He never cared about anybody but himself. And then he got a hold of Catholic Charities. He was going to put all 5. I don't even know if Diane knows this. He was going to put those kids in an orphanage. So thank God, Eleanor's 2 brothers' wives and me, we said we're going to take the girls. So one of them took Susie.
Who took Susie?
Rita.
Right.
Sue took...
Rita Szymanski.
Yeah. Sue took Linda.
Sue Szymanski.
Oh, Rita took 2 of them.
Right.
She took Eileen and Susie. And then Sue took Linda, and I took Diane, who was the sweetest. And then my brother Jimmy took Karen, but that didn't work out because Jimmy was an alcoholic and his wife was a drug addict. But they wanted a little girl because they had 2 boys. So they took Karen, and it wasn't long after that, because I told them, I will take that child. But Karen was not wanted when she got pregnant. And they say children know that. Eleanor did not want to be pregnant. And I remember she'd sit and bang her head against the wall. The child was just not happy. And then her mother was so, then her mother got sick. And so anyhow, then I took her, and
How old was she when you took her?
she was probably only, I don't know if she was 2 yet, maybe 2.
So even as a young child, she struggled.
She struggled in school. She didn't know why. I should have reached out for help for her.
Well, how would you even know? I mean,
Well, I wouldn't know where to go.
Where did
I
you
had
go?
6 other children.
all with a lot going on.
A lot going on. Dad worked a lot, in real estate. He was every weekend. He was in the what do you call it? The sample house, and then at night he was working his ass off. Never questioned when I said I was going to take Karen and Diane. Never even questioned.
No.
I said, well, they're going to come and live with us. He never. What are you talking about? How are we going to do this? How am I going to support them?
Nothing.
And Joey never supported him. He didn't even come and see him.
So even after, I'm sorry, what was the mother's name? Eleanor. Even after Eleanor died, he wasn't around.
No. And poor Diane, I can still remember her at Christmas time looking out, waiting for him because he said he was going to come. We'd have a little gift for him. He wouldn't come. And he married a second time and married a delightful girl, Lana. She pushed him to come see his daughters, and then they came for a while. Well, that marriage didn't work out. I don't know, he cheated on her. I don't know what happened. They had 2 boys.
Did the same thing.
Same thing. It was useless.
No, I remember later on when he came up and he was around for a very short time and did the same thing.
He came to, when Karen died, he
Yeah,
came, promised those girls he was going to keep in touch. They never saw him again.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was made of.
I don't know either.
Well, do you remember Jack punching him at the graveside?
No, I didn't.
Do you remember that?
No.
Or you were too young?
I was
We were there because
9, probably. What year did Karen die?
96, September 9th, 76.
So I was 8.
Because we were down, I was then living in Denver. We were on vacation at Rehoboth when Karen died, so we came to the funeral. And at the graveside, in the middle of the service, Joey pulled up a fancy convertible, and then walked down and said something to Jack, and Jack cold got him. And then he got up, got back in his car, and drove away. It was just incredible. It was just really was.
Yeah, and Dad never asked him for anything.
No.
I remember him saying,
He'd rather
Joey, I don't need anything, just come see your girls. But he didn't.
How did Karen die?
Oh, she was in an auto accident. Well, what happened, Kevin? I was having so many problems with her. I didn't know how to handle her. And her sister Linda came to visit, and I said, can you take Karen? I can't take her. So she took her. Her husband was in the service. They were down south somewhere. And they never let me know, but then they were having all kind of trouble with her down there, too.
Well, how old was she when she went to live with Linda?
She was a freshman in high school.
Okay.
She was at St. Mark's. And so she went to live with Linda, and then they never let me know that there were problems. And apparently she was out walking with a friend, and she got hit by a car.
So she was 15?
I think so. 76, and she was born same year as Anne Marie,
50.
60.
Yeah, okay.
So it's at 16?
16.
Yeah.
God, it's awfully young.
16 years old.
And where was Linda living? In Virginia?
Maybe Virginia, I forget.
That seems to, for some reason, I think it was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you know what? She ended up going to live with somebody else, and I didn't know.
Karen did?
Yeah.
Before she died?
Yeah, she was living with somebody else that was in the service.
What kind of problems were they having with
I
her?
don't know. We never talked about it, me and Linda.
But I mean, she was having enough problems here. Just behavioral.
I couldn't hear you. She'd go out at night. Dad and I would be out riding around. We didn't know where she was, looking for her. She'd say she'd be over the pool. I'd go over the pool. All you kids were swimming. Where's Karen? She's down in Dunlinden at some kid's house.
She was a beautiful girl.
It went on and on and on. I didn't know what to do with her, and I needed help, and I didn't get it.
How did the sisters deal with that, the loss of her?
They were good. I mean, we were all in it together.
Right. Obviously, I'm sure it was very difficult.
They loved me. I loved them. They knew I tried. Uh-huh. Okay. Right.
The surgery courtesy call.
Okay.
Have you seen a lunatic with one glove? If you have, run.
Right.
He's been all over this hospital for weeks.
Trying to operate.
Right.
Said something about his name's Dr. Quinn.
Okay. Okay. Well, my doctor already told me he does not want me to drink anything. Just take my medicines with a sip of water, so I'm not going to drink anything. Okay? All right. Or deodorant? All right. Uh-huh. Great. No, I don't. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Bye. Just about my admission.
A lot of doctors and nurses going. All right, where was I? What was it like raising me and my siblings? They're two different questions.
I was tired all the time. But that I was a mom, and I loved being a mom, and I didn't know anything else. I didn't want to do anything else. That's where I wanted to be. I was happy and content.
So you lived in Dunlinden.
Yeah, our first house, when Dad got out of the Navy, we had saved enough money to buy a house. So we bought Dunlinden, and then we were starting to outgrow it, and Dad found this house in Sherwood Park. So then we moved there.
Was he working for Rubino at that time when they built the houses in there?
Probably.
Was that a new house when you moved in?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no.
It was already there.
Yeah.
What street did you live on in Dunlinden? Do you remember?
Eunice Avenue, 37 Eunice Avenue.
That's
Diane. I was
Diane.
3818 Eunice.
Same street.
Same street.
On the other side of the street.
Yeah.
So when did you move over to Sherwood Park? Because
Joseph was a baby.
Yeah, I wasn't even born yet. We were born in.
Joseph was a baby when we moved.
Okay. Because those are 3-bedroom houses. Well, Sherwood Park was a 3-bedroom house.
Yeah. Then we had the attic. Dad finished that off, so that helped.
Yeah. The sweat box.
One bathroom.
I know. Well, 1.5.
It's tough.
Yeah, the toilet downstairs with one shower. Do you remember us all standing in line every day for the shower?
Fighting.
Well, because the girls would take forever.
Yeah. Girls do.
We'd wait in line every day with towel. We had to have a towel on and wait, stand in line, all of us, in that hallway and wait to get a shower. I remember it was miserable.
Well, you're a lawyer. I know you have access to one.
Well, every time I got there, it was cold. Every single time.
Right, we would run out of hot water.
Yeah, because if Anne-Marie was in there, forget it. It'd be 6 months later.
Yeah.
Tell your lawyer, ask for punitive damages for cold water.
I still take long hot showers because I remember growing up without. I mean, listen, we had everything we ever needed, but hot showers wasn't one of them. Do you remember any particular moments as a parent growing up? There had to be so many, but any vacations? Do you remember our first vacation together, or your first vacation as a family?
Mm-hmm.
Where would you go on vacation? Did you take a lot of vacations with the family? We didn't take a lot of vacations.
Dad and sister enjoying the pool, and that was the most wonderful thing. So every summer you guys
We lived there.
Yeah. So that was our summer.
We went to the beach a few times.
We probably did. I don't remember though where we stayed.
We went.
I doubt if we stayed overnight anywhere.
We did. Kids. We stayed with Margaret Mary.
Oh yeah, she always invited us down to her place.
Right. They had a trailer.
Yeah.
In where?
In Bethany.
Was it
back off of?
Right by the park? Was it by?
I forget the name of it.
Yeah. And then also, I remember at least 1 or 2 summers that we stayed with Judy and Bill. Didn't they have a trailer in Jersey?
They did. They never invited us.
We did. We went down there at least once. I remember going down there. They had a trailer as well.
They did, but Marv was always the one invited us.
Right. Because Uncle Bill had a boat.
Yeah, that took a lot of guts to invite us with all these kids.
I remember going into those trailers and we piled up and it was 1,000 degrees in there. I remember we had fly strips all over the place.
Yeah.
We loved it though.
I know.
We had fun.
And she was so kind.
Yeah, she was great. You spent a lot of time with your sisters.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were so close. We're all raising our kids together.
Like, I mean, that's, we got to be very close with our cousins. Like,
yeah, first communions, we all did birthdays, I guess, sometimes, but, oh yeah, we were close.
Yeah, I remember hanging out with Rose and going over the Casellos and going over the Redmonds and going over Marion and Phil's. I remember that well. We did that quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We all included each other and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was nice. Well, you and the girls were very close.
We were, and we still are.
Yeah.
We always got along. We never fought. We really didn't.
Yeah. You still don't.
We
give each other a hard time.
But we didn't. We didn't fight.
Yeah. I don't know if I can think of anything else, but I'm looking through this stuff. I wrote down a bunch of questions, but
that's good.
If you could go back to any age, what age would you go back to?
When I met Dad.
That was a good year.
Oh yeah, when I met Dad, when we started dating. Anything before that. I was like going through the motions. I had friends. I'd go to dances. But when I met Dad, I found out what real happiness is.
You guys took a lot of trips together.
Yeah, he loved to travel.
Do you remember where the first place you guys went?
I think we were married almost 10 years, and he said, we got to go away. And we went to New York for a weekend. And it was either Claire came to my house and watched the kids, or Margaret, Mary, and John came. And we just had a wonderful weekend.
You guys just went up to New York for the weekend?
Yeah.
You remember seeing a show or anything, or you just went up and hung out?
I don't think we even saw a show. We didn't really have a lot of money.
You probably slept.
Huh?
Probably slept all weekend. You're exhausted.
It was nice, though.
How about the trip to Florida? With the
kids?
Aunt Grace and...
Oh, with all all 19 of Dad's cousins. And that's that picture out there, and that was a wonderful trip.
You guys drove?
All over Ireland. Dad?
Oh, no. The trip, he was saying to Florida.
Oh, you're saying to Florida.
Before you were married.
Oh, we went with your family.
Yeah, Aunt Grace. And
oh, yeah.
she
That
had
was
just
really
gotten
nice.
Aunt Grace had just gotten the new 55 Chevy. And 2 carloads of us went to Florida.
Yeah, and Dad and I were just dating, and he took me. And
Where'd you go to Disney?
Disney did
it was
this
Hollywood, Florida.
Yeah.
It was Hollywood,
It was before
Florida.
Walt Disney. Oh, yeah, right.
Right.
I think that's where we
Yeah,
went.
it was like 2 weeks. It was a long time.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah.
What?
Kathleen went, I went.
Why did you go there?
I don't know.
I don't know, but they forgot that the cars didn't have air conditioning. I've been in saunas that had more
air
in those
movement.
damn car. Oh,
I remember there was a pool. We went swimming at the hotel.
Yeah, it was a real nice motel right next to the beach.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
How many of you went?
Grandma, Grandpa, Uncle Joe, Uncle Tommy.
No, Tommy stayed there.
Oh, Tommy stayed
Because
there.
he threw a blowout party that
Yeah,
the
Paul
neighbors
Gerard.
talked about for years.
Claire didn't go because she had just found a lump in her breast and she didn't tell her parents she had to stay home and get that removed. Kathleen was there, me and Dad, and Grace.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was fun.
And you piled into
2 cars.
We had
Aunt
2
Grace's
cars.
55 Chevy, and then I don't remember the other car. But it was 2 cars.
That was
and you
good.
just picked this destination?
Probably your
did.
father. I would think your
my
father.
father, in an unseemly bout of brilliance, picked Florida in July. It's just sweat. Those cars was just sweat.
So we girls stayed together and the guys stayed together. You know, we would have 2 separate hotel rooms.
All piled up.
It's all right.
Yeah, that was a fun trip.
It was. We had a good time.
Well, how old were you? You had to be 21, I guess?
Dad and I were dating, so in between 21 and 23 is when we went together, yeah.
My God, that's so funny.
If other people were around, John was on his good behavior.
I always got along with him well.
He was nice to you kids.
Yeah.
They loved you kids, because we were the first ones that had children, and they were good to me. Came out to the house, brought gifts, had us all for dinner almost every Sunday till finally I said to Dad, this is too much. We can't go in here with all these kids every Sunday. It's just too much. But we had a lot of good times.
Yeah, I remember going over there.
That's where I learned to drink in the Quinn house, because you walked in and everybody had a drink before dinner.
Often before lunch, actually. But, yeah.
But you got there before dinner.
That was so fun. Dad never drank though.
No.
He just
No, once in a while he would, special occasion he'd have a rum and
Oh,
coke.
yeah, but I mean, like that, I doubt if he had a drink at your mother's house, but I always did.
No, he didn't.
No.
Jack just never drank.
He
Just
didn't
never
drink
interested.
then, no.
No. I don't think he liked it.
I don't think he
Yeah,
liked
right. He
it.
just wasn't interested.
Right.
He didn't smoke, he didn't drink, and he, didn't drink coffee.
No.
Neither did I, till I was 40.
Huh.
So he and I were very much alike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I discovered lattes, and that was the end. I'm on the waiting list at the Betty Ford Center for my addiction.
Those things are great.
Iced
Well, they're
lattes.
not. They're more like dessert than they are coffee.
Yeah.
Dad liked tuna and tab.
Well, Dad was a creature of habit.
Yeah,
When he found something that he enjoyed, he didn't veer off of it.
right. Like me.
Yeah.
He used
No,
to
it's
say
true.
Towards the end, that's all he ever says. This is all I want to do. I want to go out with you.
Yeah.
He said, I just want to be with you. We go out, on a Sunday, go down to Schaefer's. He says, this is all I want to do.
Yeah. Tell me about some of the trips you guys went on.
wonderful trips. We got to a point every winter we would go on cruises to the Caribbean. Just he and I.
When did you start that? I mean, you started that when I think Eileen and I were kids.
I don't know, maybe. You would remember better. I don't know when we started it, but
Because you didn't really start that with the older kids. When
No.
they got old enough to quote unquote watch us.
right.
In other words, have parties and destroy the house when you were away.
Mhm.
They would stick us. Whoever had the party would stick us up in your room, and we'd just sit up there. Eileen and I would sit in your bedroom and just listen to this raging parties go all night. Mm-hmm.
Should have had more sense.
Nah, everybody survived.
He
Most of
liked
those
to
kids
go.
were good kids.
I was more complacent. I was content at home, but he wanted to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did the Caribbean, we did Bermuda, and then we went to Europe a couple of times.
Later. Did you travel with other people?
Most of it was just the two of us. That's what we liked. We were early morning people. We got up in the morning and go, and we. Most of the time we took a couple of trips with other people, but most of the time it was just me and him. We were sneaky. We wouldn't tell anybody. Like we didn't want Claire to know because she would invite herself.
You noticed,
Nobody would know until we say, "Oh, we're going on a trip." Even with some of our friends we liked, but most of the time we didn't want anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I remember you guys going on trips together. Sometimes I think you went away with Marion and Phil, maybe.
Marion and Phil, we took a trip. We went on a trip with the Marcellis. That was the Bermuda thing, I think. Yeah, we did take a few.
And then went to Europe or Ireland with cousins.
Yeah,
and
Ireland.
Quills and.
And then we had a wonderful trip that Dad organized over in Europe.
To Switzerland or.
That was Switzerland.
Right.
All over the place. France.
You guys were over there for like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still have some pictures hanging around here, like.
You're a popular person today.
I know.
It's mostly doctors.
Oh, this is the call I'm waiting for. Hello? Yes. Good. I did. Number one, I was wondering if he would prescribe something for sleep. All right. I have 2 tumors, and when we talked Friday, he said he was going to go in and take as much of that tumor out as he could. We didn't ask him about the other little tumor. What's he going to do about that, or nothing? Okay. Now, it says I should take my medicines in the morning. Is that right? That's... No. Okay. No. I will. Thanks a lot. Thanks. Bye.
Who was that?
That was Dr. Wallace's nurse, and he said, you'll have to ask him in the morning about the other tumor. She said, I don't know. She said, he might not know till he opens you up. And he might, see, I had to go for that second MRI, and he might know a little bit more. I thought maybe they would ask him and tell me, but. Him that day about the other.
It's the one thing I can't believe I forgot to ask.
We all did.
I know.
And it was right there in front of us. He had the picture there.
I had it written down.
Yeah.
But every time I went to it, we got, someone asked a question.
Take this with you.
I'll take the scalpel and the rubber glove with me.
There you go. You don't get that, I'm going to get it.
Hey, listen.
The doctors move aside. So
Yeah.
Just be a couple minutes.
Right.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want is me in your head. Marty in there.
Already in there. You're in my heart, Kevin.
You're in my heart too much. You worried about tomorrow? It's been a big couple of weeks.
Been a good couple of weeks. I'm ready.
I know the initial shock is it's unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah. Thought they'd hear that. I never had surgery. I said I picked a winner, didn't I?
Yeah, you don't fool around. You could have gone for like
How about bunions or something? Yeah,
Right.
for a start.
right, or carpal tunnel.
Yeah, my was all set up for that.
You're like, all right, my first surgery is going to be carpal tunnel, and it wasn't that; it was brain surgery. Well, we kept joking because everybody that came in and talked to Mom, she would always say, well, she would kept focusing on the carpal tunnel until finally Bull said, let's not worry about the carpal tunnel syndrome.
Right. Yeah, I know. He had to straighten me out a couple of times.
Well, I think all of us just wanted to hear that maybe it is carpal tunnel. Maybe he's wrong.
He said your symptoms are from your tumor. Finally sunk in.
Okay. What are you going to do after you get out? Any thoughts about what you want to do after you get back on your feet?
No, I'll go through the treatment, Kevin, and we don't know. My cancer is treatable, but it's not curable. So it's just a matter of how successful the treatment is how long I'm going to live. So I know that's what I'm dealing with. And Uncle Paul and I have had this conversation, and when you get to be our age, you're getting towards the end of the line anyhow, so why ignore that? And I guess, a lot of people don't understand why I'm handling it so well, that I'm not depressed, and, this is what I got, Kevin. So.
You're handling it very well.
I have to deal with it. I'm dealing with it the way I want to deal with it. I'll sit down and have a good cry. I know I will, That'll happen, but what's that going to do, Kevin, if I get so depressed? Is that going to help me fight this? I wouldn't be able to fight it. I'm not going to fall apart. There you go. I know I'm not going to get better, but I'll try as hard as I can to hang on as long as I can. I said to him, I went to church yesterday. I didn't pray for myself. I said I'm praying for strength for my children.
Yeah. We appreciate that. In some regards, I think you worry more about that than you do yourself.
I do. I'm not worried about myself. I know what I have, but I do worry about you guys. We all get along so well. We love each other so much, and I love your children. I love being with you.
Well, you just, you've done a good job, Mom.
Thanks.
And now you gotta let us take care of you for a while.
Yeah, that's how it is. It's out of my hands.
We have enough of us. I think we can handle it.
I know, and you are handling it. I told you all that. And I told Paul that. I said, for the very first second that they told me what I had, I have never felt alone. I have never felt I'm dealing with this alone. And that's all I need. As much as I miss Dad, that's all I needed. Somebody to talk to. Talk it all out. We've talked it all out. We're honest with each other. You know what's going on, even with the doctors. Nobody's hiding anything. And I told all my friends, I told them the timeline I told them all. This is where I'm headed.
All right.
Okay?
Love you.
Love you.